You do realize Orthodox Jews aren't like the worst humans imaginable, right? Hey guys, welcome to Hot Takes with Hila on JTV. If you weren't aware, I am an Orthodox Jew. Now, your experiences with my community are likely very sparse considering the fact that we are a very small minority, regardless of what non-Jewish BBC experts have to say. Your idea of who we are is likely limited to Fiddler on the Roof and Yentl, and more recently Unorthodox, but I can assure you we're a very diverse group of people, and most of us are quite normal. Sure, we dress a little different, and we have a funny diet, but we are complex human beings with emotions and goals, just like you. Unfortunately, being such a small minority, our representation in the media is really lacking. NBC saw that lack and decided to fill it in their show Nurses. So there's a lot to unpack here. Here I was thinking Jews controlled the media, yet it seems like not a single one was contacted before airing this episode. One of the central ideas of Jewish law is something called pikuach nefesh, or the principle that saving a life overrides all but 3 laws. Those laws being the murder of an innocent person, idol worship, and sexual violence. Under the law of pikuach nefesh, organ donation is absolutely permissible. In fact, failure to seek proper medical help is a sin. We don't believe it's God's will that we suffer forever whenever we're hurt. Rather, there's a firm emphasis on putting in our own effort instead of just expecting deliverance to fall down from heaven. The Torah encourages medical treatment, a fact that the writers or director or actors or anyone else on set could have easily looked up. But hey, if Judaism makes sense, then we can't spread our libel, can we? Yes, let's accuse this already marginalized group of people of bigotry, knowing full well that it could lead to more violence against them, all in the name of social justice. I mean, that nurse just has the biggest chip on her shoulder, and I'm sure the actress thought her character was such a hero for taking a stand. Yes, queen, let's fight against sexism and racism by being anti-Semitic. The thing that makes anti-Semitism a unique form of bigotry is that often anti-Semites think that they're punching up. Instead of thinking that a race or gender is inferior to them and that's why they oppress them, anti-Semites often think that they're legitimately fighting back against their oppressor. Whether that's because they believe we're baking their baby's blood into matzahs, or subverting the white race, gentrifying black neighborhoods, or stealing Palestinian land, they genuinely don't see their complacency in the systematic oppression of Jewish people. So of course they made these Hasidic Jews hate Arabs. After all, they did name the younger one Israel. You do realize Orthodox Jews aren't like the worst humans imaginable, right? You do realize that airing content like this puts another target on our back, right? While you make up a scenario that would never happen so that you can comfortably fix the issue in your 1-hour time frame, we get to be the victim of hate crimes. Anti-Semitism is well on the rise, but that's just so inconvenient for your storytelling, huh? I just don't understand how you could be so irresponsible as to write about a marginalized group of people without contacting anyone within that group to ensure that you aren't spreading misinformation. And then you put a couple of actors in what can only be described as Jew face so that they can perform this pathetic excuse of a scene. And who can forget the most iconic part of all? I'm sorry, I have to say it. I know it's the least of all the problems in this clip, but goyim is plural. So I think he meant to say dead goy leg, but again, even a dead Arab goy woman leg would be totally permissible for a bone graft in the eyes of Jewish law. This is just anti-Semitism, plain and simple. Has it become such a norm again that there's no need to even mask it? Maybe you were trying to hide it behind the argument that you don't hate Jews, just the weird Jews with the weird practices, but the supposed issue you have with Jewish law is completely imaginary. This is no different than medieval blood libel or the protocols of the elders of Zion. You're just making up lies about Jews so that you can justify your Jew hatred, and in doing so you make that hatred a lot more normalized. Only days after this episode aired, a Hasidic couple and their 18-month-old were forced off of a Frontier Airlines flight. The reason? Their baby wasn't wearing a mask. Never mind that children under the age of 2 are not required by law to wear a mask. Not only that, but their staff applauded, exchanged high fives, and one even said, "A job well done to those Jews," as the family exited the plane. This is the type of discrimination that's enabled when our only representation in secular media is that of science-denying primitive villains who embody everything that goes against good Western values. Well, thanks so much for the reminder that we are not safe in the West. I'm Hila Oz, and you're watching JTV.